Oh, fuck me. I ran out of Ovaltine. You just reminded me I have to pick some up tomorrow. Shit.
You're making things up, by the way.
No, I'm not. I'm actually out, Dave. Fuck. Maybe he got a little too cozy with some of these birds.
Only explanation I have in where a Fiat Uno could keep up with a Mercedes S280, okay?
It's not that I wouldn't fight Mothman. I would beat the shit out of him.
We're seasoned.
So wait, you mean to tell me they have a festival commemorating the day a man got his shit rocked by an extraterrestrial carrot?
My neighbors across the street, they are not real.
But a pyramid is the most boring shape.
Part Sasquatch, part trickster midget. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us in the Conspiracy Kitchen, where we uncover the secret ingredients behind life's daily mysteries. I'm your head chef, Joe, and as always, I'm accompanied by my sous chef, Josh, the Cryptid Killer.
Hi, everyone.
And what's that? We can actually talk today. We're not getting interrupted. Cut off.
Shit. Our mics are working now. Hey, everyone. So, if you didn't listen to the last episode, Joe and I were, as they say, flat smacked.
We were flat smacked.
What the fuck that means? Just we had a guest. We wanted to have a conversation, but what it turned into was a TED Talk / plugging of himself for a solid hour. And I'm in awe still.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, which I think we had a lot of views on it anyway. If you want a quick summary, this is exactly how the episode went down.
No, not true. No, that's not true. Incorrect.
That's literally the entire episode, right? Every time we opened our mouths.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a good day at work today. No, you didn't.
Would you say you had a good day at work?
That's incorrect.
That's exactly what happened, right?
I don't even want to be a dick about the guy, but we wanted to have a straight up conversation, and it just didn't happen. We tried so hard. And anyone out there who's going to be like, oh, you guys are going to talk shit now that he's not on the episode. Because we could actually speak now.
Yeah, so I didn't want to talk shit during the episode. And if you listen to me, you could, a few times I would laugh and you could tell I was biting my tongue right. I didn't want to say. And you can say, oh, we should have yelled at him. We had a bunch of conversations that we were too nice. Or comments, we were too nice to him. Okay, yeah, we our podcast is still growing. We're trying to have conversations. We don't want to come off as just complete scumbags. And like I mentioned in that podcast, the episode, I think what Dave Weiss is doing, Flat Earth Dave, I think it could be good for, again, like I said then, making people think critically. I think, challenge the norm, and it made people come to their own conclusion by thinking critically. And so I am impressed with that, and he kind of blew off that. Like he said, no one thinks critically. We don't even think critically, even though I was trying to, say what he's doing is kind of good, right? Yeah, so now that we could talk, I want to say some things. I want to, kind of get out the points I was trying to make before he cut me off and all the time. If we can talk about them tonight and let you guys, come to your own conclusions on them that I got cut off about, specifically about gravity and their electrostatics that they mentioned that they like to use. That's something I wanted to try to have a conversation with him about. And obviously I was told I was, basically brain dead. Brainwashed, I think he said, right?
Yeah. It was one of his favorite words, brainwashed. But for those of you who are thinking, Josh wasn't talking at all. He even mentioned, Josh, you're still alive over there? He mentioned that in the episode.
Yeah, he did.
And it's because I asked a question. I had a question, and I'm very good at reading people. And after I ask one question, I know if I can talk to them or not. And I asked him, I was like, hey, who does hiding the Earth being flat benefit? What's the point of keeping it from the public? And he's like, I don't know, I'm not the one lying to you. And I'm like, okay,
pretty standard question.
Yeah, it's a straightforward question, I think. And he's like, I don't know. I'm not the one lying to you. I'm like, okay, that's all I got then, I guess. No question, no answer, good. So I'm like, what more do I have to ask if it's just going to be shut down immediately?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just...
So, he made me laugh a couple times. Because one, I mean, we had this point, right, where a lot of people brought this up in the comments, and I just wanted to play this on a loop for a little bit so maybe you can understand where I'm coming from, because this made me laugh. I mentioned that I had a wife, right? This is what we get. I'll put it on a loop for you guys. So my wife for a while.
You have a girlfriend?
So my wife for a while.
You have a girlfriend?
So my wife for a while.
You have a girlfriend?
Dude, he wouldn't stop at the girlfriend thing, like this part.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid of rejection? You have a girlfriend? Are you afraid it would be hard to get a girlfriend if you're a flat earther? What's the problem?
All right. Now, if you recall, I mentioned my wife in the beginning of the episode, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
we started the episode with it.
Yeah, because I was just explaining, why we're kind of sparse on our episode uploads right now, and we're going through a lot of stuff. My wife's gonna be starting the chemo and radiation soon, and we have a bunch of doctor's appointments that we're going to. We have the 3 kids we have to take care of, so it's harder to record. I mentioned that to him, and then he goes right in to try to insult me or something, I guess, saying I can't get a girlfriend if I believe in flat Earth.
As you shouldn't. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a dick, but like if you're trying to date and the first thing you mention, the Earth's really flat, no one would want to talk to you. I'm sorry, the conversation ends there.
What do you,
so what are you into? The Earth's flat. Okay, bye. It's over with. Fuck's sake.
So you're not a flat earther now?
I went into the last episode so open-minded, and I told him, I was like, I'm open to it. I'm willing to. He's like, it's not about being open to it. It either is or isn't. I'm like, okay, well, if someone says you're open to what you're selling, and you immediately shut them down, the fuck do you think the outcome is going to be?
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, if he would have had like I said, if he would have actually talked to us, had a conversation, not interrupt, like let us go back and forth, it might have been a different outcome on do we actually think the Earth's flat or not, right? But he just wouldn't allow us to talk, really. So now I'm like, well, he's obviously trying to suppress any information I'm trying to say because he knows it would destroy the flat Earth if you're bringing up these points. So he just talks over you because he doesn't want the audience to hear that point. He doesn't want you to try to get that point out. And I mean, I liked some of his content. Like I said, I genuinely, going into the episode, thought maybe we could have him on again, talk about other things, or even to talk about flat Earth if we did some of these experiments, quote unquote, that they were saying. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever be able to bring him on again because he didn't really. He just wanted to plug his app the whole time.
Does he have an app?
Yeah, it's like fucking 15 words long. You have to search for it. It's $3, $2.99.
What a steal!
And was it something about the flat Earth, zodiac, the clock? I don't know. Something weird like that. Just go to flatearthday.com, and you can find the app on there.
We could plug you too. I'm not even against the guy. I'm really not. It's like you could plug yourself, guys. He's entertaining. You want to listen to him? By all means, go for it. It is entertaining shit. But like, some people you just can't have a conversation with.
Yeah,
as much as you'd really like to.
Yeah, they were. It was nothing like having like when we had the Grumbling Grunts on as guests. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are fun episodes.
You could talk to them. They will talk. Yes, Elliot may be a flat earther. We didn't fully establish that. We're hoping we can get Elliot back on the show in the future at some point to discuss that. Because remember, he was saying space is gay or something. And I guess if he doesn't believe in space, flat earthers don't believe in space. Maybe he was. So we could discuss it. And I'm sure he would actually have a conversation with us instead of just yelling at us.
Yeah. The reason we didn't I'm waiting for the comments after this one. Oh, you guys are pussies. You didn't say this during the episode. Again, we couldn't open our mouths. We weren't
The
allowed
flat
to
earthers
talk,
are coming.
apparently.
The flat earthers come attack us like they said we were flat smacked. Get flat smacked. Well, we couldn't talk. Now,
flat smacked. Kill yourself.
if you want to see someone debate Flat Earth Dave, if you want to actually see something where they can go and you can see that a lot of his stuff can be easily debunked, I highly suggest. He's a very entertaining channel too, and he also has like a portion where he teaches classes because he used to be a professor. Professor Dave on YouTube. He has a debate with Flat Earth Dave, and when I first watched that debate before we had him on and everything, I kind of was like, man, Professor Dave's kind of a dick. He's over talking him and everything. And then I realized, actually having him on the show, why he would try to talk over him. Because if he didn't, he would never have get a point across, I guess. You know what I mean? So yeah, YouTube Professor Dave. He has a bunch of flat Earth debunking. They're all fun to watch if you want to see anything about the flat Earth debunking. And to be honest, I was talking to Josh about this before the episode. We may actually go and start doing some debunks ourselves. The conversation went in a way that he almost has now made us want to just debunk flat Earth. He had the opposite effect on us.
I've made it my life's mission to debunk the flat Earth.
To just sit here and debunk flat Earth. It's true. We might start doing little YouTube videos or something, or podcasts on Spotify, just going over certain. This is what they say about this specific topic, all the stuff that they say, and then break it down and try to debunk it. The main thing I wanted to talk about to him, and I was thinking about it in my head, and he wouldn't let me get it out when I was at the hospital. I was thinking about it. They believe, and again, he told me I was wrong, but this is exactly what they say. Go on any flat Earth, look at Witsit, Gets It, go to the Globe Busters. They say the sky is positively charged, the ground is negatively charged. He told me I was incorrect. He said, what did he say? He said,
that's incorrect.
So it wasn't. That's exactly what they say. He changed it and he said the ground was neutral and the sky was positive. But again, at that point, what's the difference? So, and that causes a downward flow, I guess they call it, from sky to ground, which pushes everything down, and then density and buoyancy, as he says, sort everything else out. And I was trying to get to the point where if it's a downward flow and you're attached to the ground because of the negative charge in the ground, you're attached locally to that ground. Going uphill should not change how much effort used because you're attached to the ground at locally. So going uphill, why would that make you have to work harder? If it's just statics, it should be attaching you to the ground, always 90 degrees to how you're standing, and not have an angle or vector of force against you to go up the hill and cause more force. Gravity is the only thing that makes sense for that because it's pulling you to the center. So when you start going uphill, you're not walking flat across the ground perpendicular to the vector of gravity. Now you're fighting gravity slightly because you're going uphill, and it's not attracted to the ground beneath you directly. It's attracted to the center of the Earth. So that vector gives you a slight, more force downward down the hill, and that's why you have to exert more force to go up a hill away from the center of Earth. I tried to get that point across. Did I try to get that point across?
Yes, and immediately. Just no.
Did I even get the whole point out?
No, you got halfway before it's just no. You're making stuff up, actually. No.
Yeah, I got more like this, right?
You're making things up, by the way.
So I didn't quite understand. I wanted him to hear me out. Just hear me out. If you're so confident in flat Earth, let me finish my point, hear me out, and then tell me why it's wrong. He wouldn't even let me get it out. He had no answer to it. And then he's talking about drones, right? Oh, you hear about the drone? I don't. Yeah, because it uses a force stronger than gravity. Okay, to propulse itself off the ground. I get it. When they do those little magic tricks or whatever little experiments where they float styrofoam with changing the electrical field? Yeah, because you're exerting a force that's stronger than gravity. And I think the big problem with flat earthers is, besides the fact that they can't understand physics in any way, they don't understand the scale of things, right? Remember he said I was just stupid? He was talking about the sun. If it's this far away, you couldn't even see it anymore in light day away. So how can we see Polaris if it's 390 light years away or whatever it is? And I tried to explain to him, well, it's brighter. There's nothing brighter than the sun, right? What's brighter than the sun?
So okay, next point, I guess.
What do you mean? How can you definitely say, oh, there's nothing brighter than the sun? You know what I mean? But the one thing I got him on, right? He kind of admitted it when he's talking about the moon being its own light source. And I don't have a sound clip of it. I wish I got a sound clip of it before we started this, but I didn't get one. If you go back to the last episode, you hear it. I said, how can a light source have shadows? Right? Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of admitted that a light source cannot have shadows. Then he said something about electric, right? Electric current. Mm-hmm. Which I didn't understand what the fuck he was talking about.
At some point, it just became babble.
Because, listen, they all go out, the flat earthers, what they like to do, is they go out and they get a Nikon 9000. A Nikon P9000, I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. A Nikon P9000 camera to look at the planets. And the problem with the flat earthers is they don't know how to use a camera. So when they're looking at Mars or whatever, it's completely out of focus, right? Exposure's all fucked up. And they're like, see, look at this. It's not even round. It looks like some kind of like octagon. And no, what the fuck are you doing? Your camera's, you don't know how to take, what are you doing? Instead of freaking sitting there with a camera, why don't you use a telescope? Because that's what a telescope is used for, right? Observing celestial bodies in space, or other weird shit if you're a freak, but wow. Observing celestial bodies in space, right? Use a telescope. Look at the moon. There's craters on it, right? They're shadow casted, which means it's not creating its own light. And what was he saying? Oh, how is there craters on the moon if it facing the Earth? Dude, the moon's, what is it, 283,000 miles away? Something like that. It's like putting a basketball, all right, it's like putting, we'll say something bigger. I don't know, a car in front of your face, but putting it 100 yards away. You're saying nothing can hit your face? You know what I mean? It'll block everything flying at you? No! So it's going to hit. Then when I told him about the, it's funny. Remember I said he was bitching about the, they're all perfectly circle, the impact zones. And I tried to explain to him, and he got upset, that it's not the object hitting the surface that causes the indent. It's the supersonic explosion, or of the impact that causes the circle. And he started, oh, we use BBs. And dude, I'm sorry, that's nowhere near the same. First, it's not going fast, nowhere near as fast. Second, it has nowhere near the mass of an asteroid hitting the moon. So when that thing hits, it's an explosion, and the supersonic, the ring, it's going to be equal distance away in all directions, and that's what causes the impact crater, that circle, that perfect circle.
No.
He was talking about BBs. I'm telling you, it's the explosion.
You're making things up, by the way.
I know. Maybe I'm making them up, right? But maybe not. Look into this stuff. It doesn't take much. Like, I just don't get it. And then they keep talking about how, what else did he mention? It's a religion, right? Globe is a religion.
See, oh my God. Let me touch on this one.
Yes.
So he talked about, globe is a religion. He's like, you're crazy. This is your religion. This is what you believe. But then he talked about the craters on the moon. And didn't he say something along the lines of it was fallen angels?
I might have zoned out, to be honest.
He said something along those lines, like, "Oh, there's this many craters on the moon, then there's this many angels that fell." So once he said that, I moved the mic away from my face. I'll be honest, I moved it away, and I just started drinking coffee. I'm like, you know what? You go right ahead, my friend. I'm just gonna drink my Cafe Bustelo and zone the fuck out.
Well, I just don't. It. He's saying, yeah, exactly. He's saying we have a religion because we regurgitate and all say the same thing. Meanwhile, if you guys follow our Facebook, it's not as popular. I haven't been on it in a little while either, as our ex or anything like that. The Facebook page is where I fight flat earthers. I've sent a bunch of screenshots to Josh. I posted a couple on X. I should start really posting them on X to try to get it stirred up so people go over to the Facebook page. And let me tell you something. For him to say that we just say the all same thing and regurgitate and blah, 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 the flat earthers are king at just saying the same thing. Every single one of them says the same thing. I don't understand where they come up with the globies just regurgitate. I guess it's because if you bring up a fact, they just think you're repeating something. But they all say the same thing. They all say, NASA's fake. Everyone at NASA has to be in on it, obviously, I guess. Right? Every single person at NASA has to know the sky's fake. Satellites are fake. Space is fake. They all talk about this firmament, and they talk about how we don't have any proof of any of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. But then, where the fuck's their proof of the firmament?
They don't have any.
None. And that's what I don't get. So they just go and you're going on blind faith, you believe in this, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's exactly what they're doing. Because we get images from NASA. We get, you get to see this stuff. You learn about it. You textbooks and everything else. And the gravity stuff, in physics, they talk about how scientists just regurgitate and whatever. No, I recall in all my science classes in both, high school, middle school, or even in college, we don't just say this is what it is. We do experiments. You remember doing experiments?
It was the good old days.
And you come to the conclusion that this is what it is, right? I mean, you start out small using like ramps and frickin', pendulums or whatever, and you come in physics, and then you come to these conclusions, and then you go and get more advanced stuff. So when they start saying this, they're just trying to make you feel like, oh, we were right. I'm just regurgitating something, and to try to doubt your own, learning and your education. But it's not true. It's the other way around. Now, I did go on. I should have wrote the numbers down. I did go on some of these freaking. He was talking about these videos where they did all the math for us and the distances, and you don't have to do it. But so they want you to do your own research, but then if you remember this towards the end, watched the videos and said, well, you got to do this or that, and we do it for you. Remember that?
Yeah.
Instead of do your own research, but we did the research and just don't worry about doing your own research. Is what he's saying. So I started looking at their crap. They were saying, I forgot even the cities now. I mean, if you want, I can get it more, but it just to be, I don't remember the cities' names, but they're trying to say Earth's flat because, between this city and this city is, X amount of miles. But we can see this and the curvature, blah, 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 and they go on and say that the curvature should have been this, but at this distance, but then we could show this, blah, 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 so it's fake. So I'm looking, I'm like, all right, these two cities, let me just go on Google Maps and see the mileage. And the issue with that is they're wrong. They lie about the distances between the cities. Like, I'm talking about, like, the one guy said it was the one video with Eric Dubé. He was saying it was, like, something stupid, like 3,000 miles or something. And it ended up being, like, 200 something kilometers, which then 200 and some or 2,000 something kilometers, which then turns into, you know, nowhere near as many miles. So it was a lie. And then I started going through all of them with the distances, and it all turned out to be the distances are not what they say they are. Debunked. You know what I mean? So if you guys go on there, go, literally go. There was some. It was a video. It's like 200 proofs the Earth's flat by Eric Dubay. Is like the one video they want you to watch. Just listen to it and then actually look at the distances between these cities that they talk about. They're completely fabricated distances. I don't know what he's making up, or he just doesn't know how to read a map, doesn't know how to do distances, doesn't think anyone would do a simple Google Maps or Google Earth and put 2 pins down and see the distance. You can go on there and just do, you know, whatever. If the driving distance between 2 cities is less than what they're saying the 2 distances, the straight line is definitely shorter. You know what I mean? So his videos did not make me a flat earther. They just made me think that they're all liars.
I hate the whole. I know we're a conspiracy kitchen. I hate the conspiracy that they believe, which is all of these people have to be in on it.
Yes, and this is what I want to make sure people understand this too. We're a conspiracy kitchen, right? We find the secret ingredients. That's our slogan. Just because it's considered a conspiracy doesn't mean we believe in it. Flat Earth is a big example of that. We're not going out and just because it's conspiratorial or opposite of what mainstream is, we defend it and say it's real. That's not what this is about, right?
No.
If it's not real, we're not defending it. We have theories about, you know, we talk about ghosts and all paranormal and stuff like that. Because you can't disprove, you have a belief in it. You can't disprove it or really prove it, you know, unless you believe some of these, you know, the ghost hunting techniques, which we will do, or your own experiences, which could be sleep paralysis or not, or whatever. Those are fun, and, you know, we have instances of make us believe in that stuff. But when you look at the flat Earth, it's easily debunked. It's not real. And as a conspiracy podcast that wants to have some kind of credibility, we're not going to blindly follow every single conspiracy. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
because we want to actually find the truth, not say something that's opposite of the mainstream and say that's the truth and everyone else is lying.
Yeah, just to be fucking edgy and cool. No. But like something I wanted to ask him and I didn't get to because I wasn't allowed to apparently. I wanted to ask him how he felt about the 2012 Red Bull space jump.
They say it's fake.
They say it's... Dude, he was in the stratosphere. Went up there in a fucking helium balloon. And then jumped from space. Like,
yeah,
that's fake. Red Bull's in on it too, of all places.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yeah, so I had an argument again on Facebook with a flat earther. They said they use a fisheye lens to make it look like the Earth's a sphere, and that it's all bullshit. And he just jumped from very high in the sky, but it wasn't in space or anything like that.
God damn it, dude.
Do you remember when he asked us about the moon landing, if we thought it was real?
Yeah.
So he asked me about the moon landing, if I thought it was real, and I said, I think we went there, but not for the reasons we said we did, if that makes sense. That's exactly what I said to him, and he said, no, that does not make sense.
So you having a difference of opinion, just matter-of-factly, does not make sense, apparently.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And I'll plug the episode again. I think I said we have to go watch our Apollo. Again, if you haven't gone back and listen to the Apollo missions episode we did. It is a lot of stuff, and it makes sense if they did without mining on the moon behind the scenes, right? I mentioned that in that episode, and I broke down every mission and what they could have been doing behind the scenes and certain evidence, if you will, that kind of would fit that going on. Obviously, he probably didn't listen to that episode, and he just thinks you can't land on the moon because it's not a solid object. So that's why the moon landing's fake. Now, there's a lot of people who believe in globe and think the moon landing is fake. I think we went there. there's a lot of stuff going on about how NASA admits, oh well, we can't get through the radiation belt, and you know, we don't have the technology to get through there, and people think that's like them saying flat out that we didn't go to the moon. Now, I work with equipment. I think I brought this up during the Apollo missions episode too. I work with equipment near radiation. The new stuff. The problem is, and I'm not familiar with the Artemis mission shuttles and how they work, but with the equipment I work on, you know, we're not using 1960s technology anymore. We use very sophisticated computers now, and they run on like CAN circuits, which is low voltage circuits that are very precise, and they have shielding around them, because even in your car you have CAN circuits. Like in my equipment that I work on, they have CAN circuits. They put shielding around it, so because any time of outside interference can give a false reading to the computer. So I would bet that there's probably CAN circuits now in these new craft. The radiation would interfere with it, and it could throw off trajectories. It could do a bunch of stuff, and that's probably why they took so long to go back. So they're probably working on new technology, and they're trying to get the shielding right. That's what I would think. But, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, no, we never went to the moon, blah, blah, blah. I think we went to the moon. We just did it for different reasons. I think we have technology that, you know, can get us there. I don't think we're stupider than people think. I think the human population is a lot smarter than people think.
Yeah. I think it's very plausible to think that we faked the official moon landing from back then. There's a lot of things involved in that. It's possible, but, you know, it's also possible that we went. It could go in either direction, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think we went. Another big thing that the flat earthers, right? Antarctica. Now, we have our own theories, if you will, hypotheses on Antarctica. You can go back and listen to our Nazi episodes. We talked about Antarctica and them. They say that's not just a continent, it's the ice wall around the entire globe. Or, well, I shouldn't say that. The entire flat Earth. That's the ice wall that contains the waters, and we're not allowed to go there. And I never got the chance to mention it to him, and I wish I did. It's very easy to see that it's not an ice wall around the entire, because there is an Antarctic yacht race. And what you do is that you take your yacht and you race it around the continent of Antarctica. You would not be able to do this if it was a ring around the outside of the flat Earth, right? It would take fucking forever. Mm-hmm. And you'd have to steer away. There's videos all over YouTube. You can watch them. They steer towards it and they go around the coast of Antarctica in whatever time, and it kind of adds up to being the mileage of what the continent is. I wanted to bring it up to him. I forgot. Now, I guess he thought I was going to be a little bit more, and I didn't. Maybe I should have been, but again, like I was saying, I was trying to be cordial with the guy. I brought up the final experiment, and listen to how dejected he was at first when I brought it up.
The final experiment, yeah.
Yeah. Hear that? Yeah. He knew that was not good. And I didn't grill him on it. And I actually almost helped him out by saying, you know, there's little anomalies in the videos and stuff. You knew what the final experiment was, Josh?
Remind me.
Because I don't think I really ever told you, and I don't know if we really talked about it besides him going on a rant about Jared. Because they all say he's a paid shill now because he's no longer a flat earther. The final experiment was this pastor reached out to a bunch of flat earthers, including Dave Weiss. And they were told he would take them to Antarctica, all expenses paid, and they could sit there and watch the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, because all these flat earthers do not believe there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and it wouldn't be possible on the flat earth. If you look at their model, if you call it that, the Earth, circles around the pizza, the little pizza world, right? You got the crust is the Antarctic ice wall, and then you got the cheese and the pepperonis, the continents and whatever. So you got the little pizza world. It's going around. There's no way to have 24-hour sun in Antarctica because the Antarctica is on the outside, and it'd have to circle all the way around, and that'd be it. So this pastor, was like, "Oh, we'll fly you down there." Dave Weiss was invited. Of course, Dave Weiss didn't go. He said he doesn't talk to people who are, lying, and he didn't want to deal with the demons and all this other shit. Apparently there was demons involved. The guy was possessed or something. I don't know. That's what they said. So he didn't go. But 2 or 3 flat earthers did. 2 of them would be Jaron of Jaronism on YouTube, and the other one would be Witsit Gets It. Witsit. And they filmed. They had cameras on tripods, and the tripods had a motor on it that would track the sun, and it would record for 24 hours, and it just spun around and watched the sun circle overhead. That was it. So that would absolutely destroy that flat Earth model. Now, of course, I think Dave Weiss said, "Oh, we do have models that show a 24-hour sun in Antarctica." Blah, blah, blah. He never went into detail with it at all, did he?
No.
He just said we have some models. Didn't say how it's possible that the pizza world had a sun 24 hours going around. I heard some other flat earthers say, well, you got the coffee cup caustic, and what that means is that you have the light shining on one side, and if you have like a rim of a coffee cup, you can shine the light, and the light kind of circles around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It lights up the rim, but not the middle.
Yeah.
Great. But you see the sun with your eyeballs the whole time, so that's not possible, right? So it's a big blow. The final experiment's a big blow. There's a bunch of videos on it. Professor Daves did some videos on it. It's a big blow to flat Earth, and that's one of the reasons Jaron is now anti-flat Earth and does flat Earth debunking, because he went down there, and because of that, he was, basically all the flat Earth community calls him a piece of shit. So there's that. So you can see how quickly they'll turn on each other if they just see any type of proof. So that was a big thing. The final experiment is a big thing, and obviously it didn't change the fact that the flat earthers still believe the Earth's flat. Maybe a couple, but that was, obviously they don't want to lose their marketing and, their money-making thing by pushing flat Earth propaganda.
Well, Dave claimed not to know who they were, too. Did you catch that?
Yeah, he was, yeah. No,
I don't know who they are. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he knows exactly who they are. He knows exactly who they are. You know what I mean? So that's what I didn't understand. I don't get that either. They were all part of this, community of flat earthers. He knew exactly who they are.
The whole thing with him not going. Look, it's all expenses paid. Go down there. Yeah. See the thing.
I just want to interject real quick. Jaron tried to pull something on the guy, and he was like, "Oh well, it's going to cost me a lot of money to get ready." Blah, blah, blah. And the guy was like, "What?" And then Jaron tried to throw out an extravagant number. I need $50,000 to do it, to go down there, to be able to do it. And the guy said, "Yeah." So he ended up going, and then it changed his life. It completely changed his opinion on it. I don't know if he was reluctant, and now he's like, "Oh, I went, and it is there. I got to save face." If he really wanted to know the truth, and found the truth, and now he's flipped. But the guy was like, "Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll give you. I'll do $50,000." So I'm not sure, but I don't know where Dave didn't. It was something about he doesn't want to deal with liars and demons. That was like the main reason he didn't go.
It's just I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's such a cop-out. Like, dude, this is your living. This is how you make your living, is flat earth nonsense. So, wouldn't you want to get all the data you possibly could? And if someone's paying for you to go, fucking go. This is your thing. Fucking do your thing. If you're not going to go and do it, oh, there's demons. I don't want to talk to you. Like, what do you mean? I can't go. Yeah. Something happened to them down there that changed them.
Oh, yeah, I remember you've mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? They saw the fucking sun. There you go. Boom. Nothing happened.
So the flat Earth community is trying to say that, oh well, there were some anomalies. The pastor, he had some green on his shirt, and he runs his computer. You know, his live streams are always done with his computer through a some kind of software. And when he's at home, behind him is always green, and he puts like his like a green screen, and then the stuff goes up behind him, and he can show you his monitor behind him and stuff. Well, he didn't turn it off when he was recording live, but he wasn't at his home, obviously. He was at Antarctica, but he had something green on his shirt, so it was showing stuff in his shirt, like something from his computer background or something. So they're trying to say it was hologram, fake bullshit, and they're trying to say also they were in the Las Vegas sphere.
Oh fuck!
The whole thing was done inside the sphere, but I mean, at one point they freaking like walked so far away and back, like they would have like run through the sphere, went through down the freaking Vegas Strip.
They'd be standing in the goddamn desert. What the fuck?
So that's that. Yeah. So, and if anyone's on the fence about flat Earth or globe, like I said, go look at the final experiment stuff. You're gonna see the sun. Check out. I mean, if you want to hear both sides, go to the Globe Busters, look at their stuff. Then go to like Jaronism now with his new stuff. Go to Flat Earth. Go to Professor Dave. I mean, he does a whole thing about debunking all 200 proofs by Eric Dubay. He debunks and like just goes over them and debunks them. So you can do that stuff. Again, like I said, I'm a globe. I think flat Earth is asinine, to say the least. Especially now after that conversation, because I wanted to have a conversation. I wanted to see where they come from, and then basically saw firsthand that if you bring up anything, they try to dismiss it quick because they obviously know that flat Earth crumbles instantly under any type of scrutiny.
I've always hated the flat Earth thing, and I mentioned the episode to my mother, and she's like, "Don't talk about it around your stepdad because he will go on a tangent." And I'm like, "Oh Christ, not him!" But I'm just like,
he's a flat earther.
I don't know. I didn't question it. I didn't want to get into it, but yeah, I honestly don't know where he stands on it. But I don't know I don't give a fuck about the flat Earth. I really don't. I know we're conspiracy theorists, but it's like that one is so stupid to me.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, I asked him because I already knew the answer, but I wanted to ask him so I can show you guys. I asked him what got him into it. And he went on a whole spiel about how he was a globe guy. Remember this? Mm-hmm. Everyone who used to talk to him about flat Earth, he would block until one of his close friends brought it up. And then he went into, I'm just going to debunk this real quick. And then, oh, man, I couldn't debunk it, so the Earth's flat. Remember that whole spiel?
Yeah.
All right. Go to Lord Jamar, another flat earther. Go to Witsit. Go to any of them. Find a video of them saying how they got into it. I shit you not, it's word for word the same shit. I'm not even playing. It's, I used to block people, insert friend's name here. They told me to look into it. I couldn't believe it, so I went in there to debunk it, and I couldn't debunk it, so I'm a flat earther. It's like they have a script for it.
Well, you know what that reminds me of? That's cult leader talk, because they always start off with, I used to be like you. Like, okay, here comes the psychobabble.
Yes. Flat Earth is a cult. You're absolutely right. They say globe is a religion. No. There's no, you're not praying to anyone. There's no person in charge. There's no pastors or whatever you want to call them. You're not, it's not a religion. You know what I mean? Flat Earth isn't, it's a cult. It's a cult. It might even be a complete psyop by the government. I mentioned this in the Flat Earth versus Globe pages on Facebook, and I've had fights about it too. It might be a psyop by the CIA to root out the people who absolutely will believe anything. You know what I mean? Like, these people will believe anything. We could tell them anything. They believe the Earth's flat.
Oh,
like, all you have to do is look at the sky. I know they, like, and then when I mentioned it to him, he's like, that's not true. It's 100% true. go to any of Flat Earth Day's videos. He always says, I don't like to look at the lights in the sky to determine the shape of the floor. He says it all the time. If you remember me saying that to him, I know you don't like to look at the lights in the sky to determine the shape of the floor, and he said that's not true. Remember that?
Yeah.
He literally says it in all these videos. That's why I said it. The way the sun moves, the way the stars in the sky are and everything else, the moon, it's impossible for the Earth to be flat. A sunset is not possible on a flat pizza because it would just go away. It would move away from you, your eyesight. It would get smaller and smaller until it disappeared, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes behind the curve. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you can't zoom it back. It's dark out now, right?
Yeah.
Find the most, if it's flat, I should be able to get the most powerful telescope and zoom back in the sun. Why can't I do that?
You did kind of bring that up during the episode, and he's like, oh, well, you know, there's hills and stuff in the way. Okay, well, go up a little higher and use the goddamn telescope.
Yeah.
The fuck, man?
And I like to, I didn't get to mention this point. I do mention this, I fight flat earthers with this. Although, did I mention something about this? I'm not sure. You can see a source of light from farther away than the light casts its light, like the source of light casts its light on you. Like if I look down out my window and look down my driveway, I can see the lights at the end of my driveway. Mm-hmm. They don't light up the ground near my feet if I'm standing out, even if I'm standing outside at the top of my driveway. But I can see that light. So why is it on the pizza fairy world, when the fairy tale world, when the sun goes away, you don't see the source of light anymore. You just see the light being cast, right, when it's dusk.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite. You know why? Because the sun is now dipped below the horizon. But the light, shines up on and lights the atmosphere up from its angle. But it's below. That's why you don't no longer see the source of light, but you can still get some light from it. If it was the other way around and it's going away and it's on a flat plane, on a pizza, you would see the source of light farther away than it casts its light on the ground. Does that make sense?
Kind
you
of.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you go out and see a street light, you can see the street light from down the road, but it's not lighting up the road you're on until you're underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So again, that doesn't work. Their stupid little model, I never even brought it up on them when it circles around. When it's over, like, I don't know, wherever it is, you look at this flat disc on the ground, the light's only shining so far towards the North Pole, but can shine much farther east and west, because it's like there's just a flat line across this, completely straight across the middle of the pizza as it spins. So the light is now not reaching as far straight north as it is east and west, which makes no sense. Why does that work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all you have to do is think critically about these things, and that's why I mentioned. I think what he's doing is actually helping. Where I would hope help is that it makes people think critically. But when you start actually thinking critically, you'll see the Earth as a globe. You know what I mean?
It's so nonsensical.
Yeah, I mean, everything I'm saying is.
You're making things up, by the way.
I guess am I making it up, or is this stuff actually like logical and
it God damn it. Well, yeah, it's once you start thinking critically, you start poking holes in all the dumb bullshit. And he kind of went into like, oh well, it's a way to control people. If the Earth's flat and you say it's a globe, you control people because they don't look for these things. Like, okay, that doesn't make sense at all. Because you could do the same thing with a globe. If there's lands beyond, you don't even got to mention it to people. They'll never find it. Notice how we're not finding shit now? Job well done.
Yeah. And like I think we're both in agreement that we think there's some kind of globalist agenda that wants that power over us, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's a globe, and they still try to do this. There's other ways of doing it that make sense. It's not flat. It's not flat.
There's definitely a higher, not a higher power, but like a hierarchy of human civilization, which you could go back to the beginning of time. Someone was in charge of people, which then grew into a bigger something, which then grew into, say, the church, which then grew into government, which like it just goes on and on. There's always someone who's higher up in charge of shit. I don't think they're going to turn around and be like, hey, the earth is flat, or let's tell everybody it's a globe. Like, it's who gives a fuck? There's no reason behind it.
Exactly. And then they complain about these numbers. Oh, well, it's 93 million miles. That's such a stupid number. Why would they go through the trouble of making up some this obscene numbers if it wasn't real? If it wasn't real, let's think about this. And they wanted you to believe it was a globe. Would they give you numbers like 93 million miles if it's for some people so hard to understand? You know what I mean? They wouldn't have to say that. They would just say, oh, it's a globe. The sun's here, 10 miles, whatever. It doesn't make any sense why they would, if they were trying to fake it as a globe, to come up with these astronomical numbers. You know what I mean? And they tried to scare, and he didn't bring it up with me because I think he knew. He might have listened to our intro to Flat Earth episode. He might not. He didn't bring the speeds up or anything like that, or the tilting, wobbling nonsense they tried to talk about, because I was ready for them. It's like he knew what I was ready for before he joined in and went after things that I didn't look at exactly at that specific time. But they like to say, oh, the Earth's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. That's their big thing. Why can't you feel it? Well, linear speed is not used for rotation. It's RPM. And I think I mentioned this before in the other episode. So the RPM of the Earth is 0.000694 rotations per minute. Spin something that slow. Spin something half the speed of the hour hand on a clock and see if you, first of all, can see it moving, unless you leave and come back. And then see if something was spinning that fast and you were standing on it, if you can actually feel it moving. You know what I mean? And then the 66,600 miles per hour around the sun. Okay. It takes a fucking year to go around the sun. A fucking year. You're not turning that fast. It takes a year. So there's 365 days in a year. I'll just put it this way. 365 days in a year. It takes 1 year to go around. So it's about a degree. A degree a day. Drive in a car straight. Go find some, I don't know where you'd have to fucking go, some salt flats. Drive in a car and turn 1 degree in 1 day off your original line and see if you feel it. You know what I mean? Because if you have a passenger in your car and you're looking at your phone and the person's driving on the highway and you just change lanes, you really don't even feel that.
No.
You know what I mean? And you're much more than a degree per day. You know what I mean? Over a day. So, again, they like to try to throw out the big scary numbers to shock. It's like a shock value. The scary number. But just use your brain. You know what I mean? Use your brain, and you'll see that it really is not all that freaking insane.
It's also a tactic because he started off the conversation with the math. It's a tactic to make people feel dumb and look dumb.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, well, how far is that? What's the number for that? What's it like? All right, fucker, just tell me and make your goddamn point. Don't ask me math. Fuck off.
So I said to him, the sun's 93 million miles on average away, between 91.5 million and 94.5 million. He said I got that half right, which makes no sense. It's those are the numbers. I didn't remember the circumference of the Earth. I didn't. It wasn't. anything that really needed to be remembered. I could have wrote it down, but I didn't really care. I gave him the Earth curvature for the first 90 degrees, because after that it doesn't work anymore, at 8 inches per mile squared. Over a mile, the curve is 8 inches. You can't see that. I'm sorry. You can't see 8 inches over 1 mile. So when they sit there and they're like, oh, it's bullshit. And then he's talking about those oil derricks or those oil platforms that were 11 miles away or whatever, and you can see the water behind it. That's bullshit. There's two things. One, he's extraordinarily high up compared to the surface of the Earth. Or two, they're lying about how far they are away. I haven't looked into it, but it doesn't make sense. Then they bring up the fact that what do they say? Across the Great Lakes, you can see the skyline of the buildings. Oh, there should be so many for. Blah, blah, blah. Well, why are half the buildings still cut off? You know what I mean? You could sit perfect. And he didn't make it up in this episode, but I've heard him talk about it. They talk about this angle of attack where the bottom gets crushed down because that's how your perspective works or some nonsense. Well, then zoom in. Yeah. Zoom in. It should bring it back. It doesn't. You know why? Because it's hidden behind the curve.
Get a bigger telescope. I don't fucking know.
It's hidden behind the curve. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then they talk about how, it's opaque and the sky becomes, the air becomes opaque because at the distance it blocks everything. You can't see forever. Stop.
It's just, ugh. And again, I know it's a big conspiracy, but like I fight cryptids. I can't fight the Earth. When I'm gonna punch the ground, I don't give a fuck about the flat Earth.
He fights cryptids.
Yeah. I punch monsters for a living. I don't give a fuck what shape I'm sitting on. Could be a goddamn cube. I don't give a fuck.
So off the top of my head, I'm trying to think what else, what other flat debunks we can just do broad overview of before, because I'm trying to remember, because he didn't really let us talk that much.
No, he just told us about his dating app for meeting fellow flat earthers.
If there's one thing he's good at, he's good at plugging.
It's, I mentioned this before we started recording. It's astonishing how many times he was able to plug himself. Which, you know what, good for him. It's impressive. Do your thing, man. But goddamn, it's just, oh, yeah, I got an app. You can meet people who fellow flat earthers. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want to meet. I mean, more people that get mad that they can't see that far.
No, we see too far.
You see too far. You can't see it. It's a perspective. Fuck off.
Well, I'm trying to. Oh, the gradient. You can't have what do they try to say? You can't have a high pressure system next to a low pressure system. They love to bring this up, and I tried to explain it to him, and again he blew me off. It makes perfect sense if you use gravity. Denser air to the bottom, right, against the Earth, and then as you go up, it's less pressure, less pressure, less pressure, less pressure, less pressure, until you get to no pressure. And I think the problem with the flat earthers are when they hear the vacuum of space. They don't understand what vacuum is. Vacuum is just emptiness, nothing. They picture in their heads, and I'm not sure why or if they're misled. They picture a vacuum cleaner. Right, so they're seeing this giant fucking vacuum in space sucking on the planet. And it's not the case. It's not what it is. It's just less pressure until there's no pressure. That's how it goes from a pressure system to a vacuum. It's just continually less pressure, less pressure. And he admitted there's a gradient. So he knows there's a gradient, and he knows it goes from, it's not less pressure, less pressure. So why is it so difficult in their brains to understand, well, if it goes less and less, why can't it go less until it gets to zero or close to zero? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense if you just think about it. But again, they don't think. Flat earthers don't think that. I don't know. I don't get it. So there's that. There's the the pressure gradient, and that's how it goes. It just goes less and less until it's zero. They don't understand gravity. Oh, how can I stand here and on the ground and the water? The gravity holds all the oceans, all that weight to the earth, but then I can just use my little lungs to suck water up a straw. They love that. And okay, there's gravity which is creating this pressure below us, right? The closer to the earth. I mean, the air is more pressurized. When you put a straw in your mouth, you're creating a vacuum right against the high pressure system down here, not a slow gradient to nothing. So that force allows the water to flow. It's not hard to understand. The same thing with a vacuum chamber. When you open it up at Earth level, the air rushes in because it's trying to equalize. The gradient is different. It just shows you, boom, slowly. You admit there's a gradient. It just goes to nothing. It's not hard to understand. And then you got, well, how does it hold the planets? And the moon isn't affected by the sun, but the Earth, it is. The sun's gravity does affect the moon. The Earth's gravity affects the moon. The moon's just closer to the Earth. And they don't understand orbits, I guess. I'm going to go on a big rant here. They talk about, oh, Pluto's all the way out there, but the sun can hold that, but it can't hold the moon. It's the Earth's holding the moon. I don't think they understand what space is. If there's no other force but gravity, that's the force that's going to win, right? Even if it's minuscule. So the reason Pluto can stay in orbit is it moves slow. It's very slow moving. So if it's moving really slow, that force of inertial linear speed, the gravity can interact with that, and it has to be perfectly equal, right? So that it orbits. But that's why when you get closer to the sun, you orbit a little faster, because now there's more gravity, more force of gravity from the sun. So you got to move faster to keep orbit. And I don't think they understand that's how orbit is basically you're falling. Like the Earth's falling towards the middle of the sun all the time, but it's moving so fast it misses it. You know what I mean? So it's always just missing. That's how it kind of, if that makes sense. Is there a better way for me to say that?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
You know what I mean? Like it's trying to fall straight down to the sun, but it's moving horizontal towards the sun. So when it does fall, it misses it. That's how it works. They don't get that. They don't understand how that works. So the moon's moving at a speed, and the force of gravitational force of the Earth, and the gravitational force of the sun, and the speed of the moon is what keeps it in the orbit around the Earth. It's not that the sun does not affect the moon. It does. It absolutely does. It's same thing with all the other planets. It is a weak force compared to other things. He's right. Electrostatic force is way stronger than gravity. But when you have only one force acting on it, which is gravity, it's going to win. One is greater than zero. So that's another thing they don't quite grasp. I wish I would have mentioned this too to him, and I forgot. And I don't know if because he never mentioned it to us. I don't think water always finds its level. He never mentioned this, but that's a big thing flat earthers like to say. But they don't understand what the word level means. Level does not mean flat. Level means perpendicular to the force of gravity. So they're completely wrong, but they admit tides work, or tides exist. So then why would a tide form with no gravity? And why would the water just bulge up all over the flat earth for no reason? You know what I mean? So the water's not flat. There's a bulge for no reason of water all over the place.
Yeah.
Randomly moving around. So what's that?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they believe is, because he said, not to change the subject for a quick second, but
No, you're good.
he said there's a dome. What do they believe is beyond that?
Firmament?
The firmament. What do they believe is beyond that?
I have no idea.
I've
They
heard
don't know.
things.
I don't even think they. Well, he would say I don't know because I can't get there. That's the kind of thing. Like if he that's what he loves. He does that. If You can't explain something. I don't know. I can't feel it. I don't know. I can't do this. You know what I mean?
It's a very good way to just be like, I don't know, can't help it. Change subject.
That's incorrect.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
That's what they'll do. I don't know what the moon is. Well, we know what the moon is. It's rock. Oh, and another thing I wanted to say to him, and I forgot to mention it to him. Remember, he was I can read by moonlight. It casts a shadow. How can you tell me that the sun shining on a dusty, dirty rock in space can then reflect the light back to the earth and cast a shadow? You know what I mean? How can that do? And I did this the other day, and I wish I would have said something to him, and I didn't. Take a flashlight, shine it at the floor, a carpeted floor, right? Carpet doesn't look like it reflects. But wait a minute. I can see the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So right there, it proves a little simple experiment for anyone out there who wants to see this work. Shine a flashlight at the floor, and you will literally cast a shadow on the ceiling. You're not shining the light at you. The light is reflecting off that carpet, which can't possibly be right. He was like, "Oh yeah, what reflects besides a mirror?" I think he was saying, or something like that, right?
Oh my god.
Remember that? I think he made a comment like that.
And he's like, "Oh, it's a big mirror." What are you talking about?
But, like again, I guess they don't know how vision itself works. For you to see anything, the light has bounced off of it and back to your eyeball, right? Everything reflects light because that's how we see. So, I mean, in this room, I don't have light shining at like my lights are turned down. I only have the monitor on, but I can see, the other side of the room. The monitor is casting a light on me, bouncing off the walls behind me, and shining onto the other side of the room, and allowing me to see the stuff over there. Because then it shines off that wall. It's basically coming off my monitor, bouncing off the wall behind me, going to the other wall, bouncing off that wall, and then going into my eye. That's how we see. That's how vision works. So everything reflects light. Just a little, FYI.
Yeah, just a little science lesson for y'all. Oh my god. It's painful, and I didn't even get to ask if he likes Ovaltine. And I would have loved to get his answer for that.
Probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't like it.
Probably get pissed off for even asking.
All flat earthers. Something I want you guys to do. I want you to drink Ovaltine chocolate milk. Make it once a week for the next 2 months. Just 8 times. Drink it. Your vision and your brain processing power will be increased dramatically, and then you'll start to realize the Earth's a globe.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
It's scientifically proven to increase brain function.
It's like putting on the sunglasses in the movie They Live. He starts to see the world for what it really is. Drink Ovaltine. It'll open your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this is a little bit of a different episode, I guess, first, right? We usually don't just rant about a previous episode, but we brought him on, we wanted to get guests on. Like, we want to start having guests on the show and stuff, and I figured we'd start with a flat earther. We talked about flat earth a little bit, and I even mentioned it to him. It was something that is interesting. Don't get me wrong, it's interesting. I like looking at those flat earth maps outside the ice wall, all the extra lands and stuff, and it's cool, you know what I mean? It's fun to, look at and stuff, but it's fake.
I wish it was, believe me, I wish it was real. I love seeing the maps where you see, like, all the countries we know, and then the ice wall, and then beyond that, there's different lands. But, like, I start seeing the map, and then all the other lands are named after places in, like, Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, all right, well, this is just stupid.
Wait, what happened here?
Yeah. Like, when the fuck did Rivendell come up? What is this? Like, no, it's nonsense.
But yeah, I mean, reading through the comments, I do appreciate a lot of people came to our defense, right?
Yeah.
They were too nice to him. We had some like, what is wrong with this guy? bro literally says, "Hey, I have a wife. We're going through cancer," and proceeds to ask him if he's afraid to get a girlfriend. The guest was a dick. We had those. I mean, I didn't want to flat out call him a dick, like I said before. He creates content, entertaining content. We wanted to have him on just to discuss his his view of the earth. And I mean, Steve Hammers even commented on the one. He's like, he lets you get a word or two in. I mean, yeah, right off the yeah. We got like 3 words in, right?
Yeah, and I'll say it just one more time because I know the comments are coming. We didn't say any of this during the episode because we simply could not. And if you guys don't believe us, try and have a conversation with the guy. It'll be very one-sided.
Yeah. Anyone listening who has a podcast or show, you have to go on his website, and you can email him if you're going to get his email, or you can. I think there's a way to book it through the website. Just reach out to him. That's how I did it. I was having a conversation with him, and I asked him to come on, if he'd come on the show. He said he'd do it. He agreed. And he's like, let's do it. And I even agreed to not use a picture of a floating disc in space for the thumbnail, because they don't like that as a picture of flat Earth. But yeah, he was just like, I thought it was going to be different. I mean, but he wouldn't have the conversation with us. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be different. I'll be honest, I was dreading the conversation for like a solid week leading up to it. And then we got on and I cringed so hard I like bit my desk. I was like, oh. So it was kind of painful. And it's not to say we were flat smacked. I don't care. But it's just
not flat smacked.
No, if we
just weren't allowed to talk.
Yeah, if we bring guests on, we want to do that. We want to have a straight up conversation. Like I said earlier, I wanted to believe. I was so ready to take what he said and really run with it. But it's just, I don't know. If you want people to believe in what you believe, maybe don't cut them down in the very beginning. Like with math and stupid, no, you're wrong. You're making that up. Like, maybe don't do that. I don't know. That's just food for thought.
Exactly. But yeah, let us know in the comments or on X or whatever. Do you want us to do some every once in a while a flat Earth debunk? If this is what the flat Earthers say, give us like an opinion or some kind of proof, quote unquote, that they have. We can debunk it. Or we'll go out and find our own proof, quote unquote, and debunk a certain specific proof every once in a while. Let us know if you want to hear them. I don't mind doing them. This is something that I've become kind of passionate about for some reason lately, debunking flat Earth. It's brain rot. In a way, like I mentioned that it helps people think critically, but then there's some people who don't think critically, and they just follow something because it's different or not the mainstream, and sometimes it's bad. Like, don't just look into something. Don't just blindly follow something. That's why we don't blindly follow flat Earth, even though we're a conspiracy podcast. So I've kind of come into, I want to debunk it. I want to get rid of the brain rot that is flat Earth. It's making people really just go down the wrong path of believing anything, and you don't want to just believe anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's so many conspiracy theories that I believe. Aliens, JFK assassination, cover up, moon landing. Stevie Wonder can actually see. But something about this one, it just, when people talk so passionately about the Earth being flat, it makes my shins hurt. I can't listen to it without getting so annoyed and just straight up being like, you're fucking stupid. Well, and I like to be open-minded, but I can't with this one.
You can't be about this, yeah. Aliens are real. You know what I mean? I've had conversations before about aliens and people like, you really believe in aliens? And I mentioned this in other episodes. I'm like, dude, the universe is so massive. Like, there's billions of stars in the Milky Way alone. Like, you're telling me there's not one other planet in all them galaxies that harbors life? Like, are you serious? It'd be like almost impossible not to.
And also, we're not, as a species, we're not interesting enough for it to all be centered around us. I'm sorry. We're not that great.
Yeah. Now, I understand the flat Earth thing is that we're the center of the universe, right? We're the dome, this Earth and everything revolves around us. It's we're created by God perfectly in this thing, and it's just not true. It's like something to make you feel better about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they want to say, oh, well, they want you to think it the other way so you don't feel empowered that we are the center of the universe. No, we're not.
Well,
We're not.
so say that is the case, and we do feel empowered. We are the center of the universe. Like, what are we meant to do with that information? It's not going to change any part of our lives one iota. We still got to go to work tomorrow. If someone
for some
came on the
reason.
news and was like, hey, we're the center of the universe, this is the truth, we're the only ones, we're the best. Okay, I still don't have a car, I still got to get a ride to work. My bills are not going to magically pay themselves because we're the center of the universe. Who gives a fuck? Nonsense.
They have like this fantasy in their head that if they found out, we'd all rise up and overthrow all the governments and live like kings everywhere or something. I don't know.
It's just nonsense. Nothing would come of it. So let everybody rise up and overthrow the governments. You know what'll happen? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. It'll be annoying for like a month that's all they show on the news, and then they'll cut to like a squirrel water skiing and like, oh, that's a cute video, and then everyone will forget about it. Stupid.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I know we say it. We've been saying it. We're really gonna try. We're really gonna try to get back on schedule here, right?
Yeah, it's. I blame myself, and I'll be honest. I don't have a car at the moment. I threw a lot of money into my Jeep recently, and then the engine just decided to fuck itself. So I don't have a car. I'm borrowing my wife's and or getting rides when I can. So it's been kind of tricky getting home on time to record. But working on that, I intend to be back on track with the next episode for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like it's just you. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. I just got to get the schedule down. Like once we start, like this Friday, she's gonna get my wife is gonna get like a full schedule, which will help. You know what I mean? It's not this appointment, and this. Like we'll have a schedule set, and once that happens, I mean it'll be easier. I think. Because she'll be doing that for. I mean, it's 5 weeks of radiation Monday through Friday. And then she'll have immunotherapy for 3 years. But that's like not every week. It's like every 3 weeks for a while, and then it goes to every 6 weeks. Once every 6 weeks. So like we can kind of get back on track here. That's what we're trying to do. I know I was gonna get a new intro in. I'm hoping to get that out soon. Try to get that done, and then get back into like conspiracies, stories, or just wild ideas, or how we think something's going down. Maybe even start bringing in some, because I know in the beginning when we first started this, we wanted to also do some current events as they came out. We did kind of get away from that, but we can still tie them in. But we always want us to go back to an alien episode, paranormal episode, shit like that, stuff that is intriguing to us, as even simulation. Because to me, to be honest, that we live in a simulation is far, far more believable than flat Earth.
Oddly enough, yeah, it definitely is.
And it's not even oddly enough. I mean, I call him Evans B, the game master. It's a running thing in our house too. I curse out Evans B whenever anything goes bad, and Evans B, I think, knows we're getting too much truth out in this podcast. So that's why he's really fucking with us. He's really, really making our schedule hard and our lives hard because he doesn't want us to keep telling the truth. Just like you. I mean, Evans B literally destroyed your car because he can do it. Fuck you.
Bag of shit.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know, I call him Evans B because the game master from the Hunger Games was Evans B. I don't know if you caught on to that.
Oh yeah.
But he controls our lives. It's like we're in a Truman Show situation. That's what I kind of believe sometimes. I mentioned, you can hear in their intro, my neighbors across the street, they're not real, right? It still happens, dude. If I leave, like I left to go get pizza from the pizza place, I don't know, Saturday, dude, they left at the same time as I did, and they got home at the same time I did. Yeah, it's not right.
Now you mentioned it, I do have a neighbor who moved in recently. Every time I leave my house, he's out walking his dog.
See?
And then every time I come home, there he is. Same spot. And you know what? Same outfit, too. Oddly enough, it's the same outfit every single time. It's just the pajama pants, red hoodie, every single time.
And this is at different times, right? Like
different times, different days.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm explaining, and you guys have to start looking around, start looking for it. Unless you guys that are listening are also NPCs. I'm telling you, there's NPCs in this world. We're not all player controlled. I'm telling you, there's NPCs, and sometimes they get their algorithm messed up, and they do weird shit. We could be in a simulation. We did a whole episode on it, and I don't know. When I look into it more and more, Flat Earth gets debunked, but simulation's always like, this is possible. We might not be in base reality.
It's just watch The Matrix. That's all you got to do. I mean, take out the kung fu and shit, and then just the world of The Matrix. It's very plausible.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna figure out what we're doing for our next episode. Hopefully, maybe. Man, today's Tuesday. Do you think we can record Friday and get out 2 this week?
Could try. I'm off Friday.
Yeah, you're off.
As of right now, who the fuck?
As of right now, I get home early on Friday, and then I have to get the kids off the bus because my wife's going to get the mapping done to see, so they have to mark her on where they're doing the radiation, so that when she goes back, they just hit the pinpoints. You know what I mean? So she has to do that. So I'll be home with the kids. I can jot some stuff down before, and then when she's home and normal time, we'll record. We could try to get that done on Friday. We'll think of something between now and then and get back to you with that episode. I think that's a good idea. We could try to get that out.
Yeah. If not Saturday, we'll see.
Not Saturday. We'll try to get another one out this week, and then try to get it back into swing. Because I wanted to try to get the main reason I want to get 2 out a week is because Spotify, when we put 2 out a week, they love us. Like the algorithm, we get way more impressions and get seen on way more devices when we put out 2 a week compared to 1 a week. So there's that. You know what I mean? So try to get that out. We'll try to record again for you guys and get back into the swing of things. You probably miss listening to us, hopefully, maybe. So
yeah, you miss our sultry voices.
So we'll get it going, and just be sure to drink your Ovaltine, because if you don't, you might be a flat earther.
Oh fuck me! I ran out of Ovaltine. You just reminded me I have to pick some up tomorrow. Shit.
You're making things up, by the way.
No, I'm not. I'm actually out, Dave. Fuck.
You're actually out? There's no way. You're making that up.
I've been drinking it so much recently. I went to get some earlier, and I was like, no.
All right, guys. Don't be a flat earther, and we'll see you hopefully at the end of the week.
Goodbye.